Welcome to Green Building Matters, the podcast that matters for green building professionals. Learn insight in green buildings as we interview today's experts in LEED and WELL. We'll learn from their career paths, war stories, and all things green, because green building matters. And now our host, and yes, he has every LEED and WELL credential. Here's Charlie Cichetti.
Be sure to check out the Green Building Matters community, where you can have unlimited exam prep for any of the professional credential exams you're tackling next, as well as putting your continuing education on autopilot, saving time with GBS reporting your hours on your behalf. Check it out, gbes.com/join. Now, enjoy this episode of the Green Building Matters podcast.
Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the Greenbuild Conference and Expo that's coming to Atlanta, Georgia, November 18th through 22nd. And I wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit about my experience attending 8 of the last 10 Greenbuild conferences around the United States, because I love them. And I'm going to tell you what even me, a seasoned green building professional, still gets out of a conference like this. So just me today, talking about the Greenbuild Conference and Expo that happens every year, usually in November. I think one year in Toronto, it was in October. I missed that year because my middle son was being born around that time, Landon, and didn't get to make that trip. Stayed close to home, but we sent some of our other team members. You know, I want you to have memories. Some of my fondest memories are 2012. Greenbuild was in San Francisco. And actually, when my teams were smaller, we would rent an Airbnb or a VRBO, depending on what city Greenbuild was in. And that year, we rented the HGTV Green Home, and it had solar panels. It was a very modern home in the Mission District. It even had a wind turbine. It was kind of like a token wind turbine. It definitely wasn't turning like it should. If you're going with a team, make sure you create memories. We even cook meals together some of the evenings between the Greenbuild days. I want to just talk directly to those that haven't been yet. Yes, life's busy, work's busy, but from me to you in this green building movement, this is our Super Bowl. 20 to 25,000 green building professionals from all over the world get together. And again, this year it's in Atlanta, right there the week before Thanksgiving. I really hope you can come. You know, if you're a student, an up-and-coming professional, you can find ways to volunteer, get a discounted ticket, get that comp, but you got to get there. You really do. Let's talk a little bit about those. This will be your first Greenbuild conference. You know, why would you come to this conference? I got to be honest, not just those that this first conference, but especially those that have been around a long time. It's validation. Okay, where are we at? Where's our benchmark now with this whole green building movement, now the new wellness movement? You leave feeling like we are making a difference. There's some hope for what we're doing out there. You really learn a lot about what's going on around the world. It's not just about LEED. And I got to be honest, you leave so fired up, you and your team, you have a tremendous amount of energy and validation that you are in the right industry. You are hanging out with the right people. So you go to get that energy, that validation, and you know what? It's a bonus that you get your continuing education hours and, of course, the latest info with the rating systems that you are working on. Now, let's talk a little bit about if this is your first Greenbuild conference. I would definitely sign up for all of the classes you can ahead of time. The class schedules, some of them, the popular sessions can fill up. There might be a wait list, but you have to make sure you scan in and you have to stay for, I think it's at least 15 minutes in order to get full credit, CE credit there. But go ahead and sign up. You can change your classes with the app or on the website, even right before the sessions. Now, here's a challenge I'd issue to you. If you're coming to the Greenbuild Conference and Expo, you know, you might normally want to sign up for all the classes that have to do with what you do day to day. And I want to challenge you not to do that. I want to challenge you to really, in 1 week there at the Greenbuild Conference, really it's a 2.5-day conference unless you add on the work sessions and the workshops and maybe some of the tours. But you know, this is where you can get exposed to some things you wouldn't normally when you go back to the office, okay? You know, for example, in New Orleans, just 4 or 5 years ago, I did some of the master speaker series, and they had Deepak Chopra there. He had a room of 300 of us meditating together. That was amazing. Another one I remember I think it was Los Angeles. It was a storytelling class, okay? But it was by those that make films because they wanted to show you how to tell your green building project's story. And it was just some outside-the-box stuff we normally wouldn't get. So while some of you might be inclined to go to the super technical sessions, I got to be honest, I would go to a handful of those to make sure you are getting the latest with the rating systems that matter most to you, maybe lead version 4.1, what do I need to know to take back to clients, but then really go after some stuff that just seems so fascinating, so interesting. So if this is your first time coming to a Greenbuild conference, make sure you get a good mix. You don't always have to stay on the same track. If you're in residential, no, go check out some of the net zero commercial buildings. Go check out some of the lead for neighborhood development stuff. Go check out some of the well projects. That's just my opinion. I suggest you mix it up. Now, let's say you go into a session and really could have been on stage and, you already know that information. It's okay. Leave. Go meet up with someone for coffee. Go to the Expo. Go check out the Expo. I believe there's, I don't know how many tables, but hundreds and hundreds of exhibitors with the latest green building technology. Some of them are service providers. Some of them are educators. So definitely go through and make sure that you check out the Expo. Again, if you're in a session, don't feel like you have to sit through the whole thing. Yeah, you might need your CE hours, but it's okay. Excuse yourself and go straight to the Expo. Catch up on some of that floor time, okay? So for those that this is your first Greenbuild conference, go to the sessions, okay? I think it's one of those that you or your company's paying good money to send you. Go. Yes, the Friday morning 8:30 sessions are tough, kind of like it was in college. But you know what? Fridays is a half a day as the conference wraps up. Try to go to every bit of it. This year, it's very exciting. President Obama on Wednesday morning will be the opening keynote. And then on the Thursday night celebration, Greenbuild does a fantastic job every year with the celebrations. And that's the one you really do get pumped up at. Not just, Mahesh and Rick, the leaders over the USGBC and IWBI going over some of the latest statistics. They often bring in other leaders from the host city, sometimes other countries, to show the green building statistics and the progress we're making. And it's just really a lot of perspective, but it's also, like I said earlier, very exciting to show the progress that's being made. This year at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, LEED Platinum Stadium, they have Collective Soul as the entertainment. So I remember that in New Orleans, again, a handful of years ago, they had Alabama Shakes and Trombone Shorty at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, and we were eating Cajun food right there on the field. These are memorable events at our big annual conference. So you're going to meet a lot of great people. One more time, though, if this is your first conference, try to take it all in, okay? Now, let's say you've been to several. Well, this is where you might want to just go to some of those very unique sessions. Maybe you go straight to the GBCI and the knowledge bar and you get your technical project questions answered, not necessarily in an hour-long session, but directly from the lead reviewers. And then I really would challenge you to double down on relationships, right? These conferences, you're going to meet new people, but you're also going to have a lot of green building professionals from all over come into this one location. I've got a lot of clients that come to town all in one place. And I find it great just to catch up, find a place where you can have some one-on-one meetups, grab some coffee. That is really going to advance everything because when everybody goes back to their normal place of work, you've already seen each other yet one more time, and everyone is there for the same reason, which is to get energized about what we're doing here in this green building movement. So check out some of the alternative sessions, some of the master speakers. Take as much of it in as you can. If you have been to several of these, I get it. Then you might want to do that pub crawl that's going to be going through Buckhead that some of the after-hour parties are putting together. And, you do your thing. But I would suggest opening keynote should be fantastic, the celebration on Thursday night, and then definitely hitting up some of the sessions on some of just the amazing case study projects that are being put in front and center. I will brag, USGBC Georgia chapter is doing the most tours, I believe, of any Greenbuild. I believe there's almost 50 tours There are just a ton of tours that you can sign up for all throughout the week, actually. Some on Monday and then some on Friday, okay? So everything from some urban food landscape, some early well projects, the new living building that's opening now at Georgia Tech, a true zero waste project near downtown, the 96 Olympics. So really cool tours. And now all of these can get you continuing education also. Don't get me wrong, I hold several LEED and WELL credentials. And so when I go to a Greenbuild, it's great to log my hours there too. But make sure that you really take advantage of some of the tours. USGBC Georgia chapter doing a fantastic job this year with the tours. So in general, if you're going solo, make sure if you're a part of our Green Building Matters community, you reach out there on the Facebook group. Make sure you reach out to me, ping me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email, charlie@gbs.com. Let me know you're coming. I'd love to have a podcast listener meetup. That'd be fantastic. Think about if you're coming as a group, if you need any advice on where to stay or where to eat, same thing. Let me and the team know. We definitely want to make sure that you feel some of that Southern hospitality as you come to Atlanta. November shouldn't be too cold yet. It should be really nice weather in and around downtown Atlanta, literally Centennial Olympic Park. It's at the Georgia World Congress Center, which is a 4 million square foot convention center, LEED EB Gold. Yes, me and my team were able to work on that one. And then again, some of the entertainment will be next door at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, LEED New Construction Platinum. So tremendous amount of LEED projects right there downtown. Atlanta's a fantastic host city, but I wanted to challenge you. If it's your first time coming, come get fired up, get some energy, but take in as much of the conference as you can. Really do. If you're in a session, it's not great, excuse yourself, hit the expo floor. If you've been to several of these, make sure you're trying to find that kind of conference within the conference, okay? Several meetups. Make sure you're doing plenty of that, networking, and then as usual, have really, really good, timely follow-ups to all the great contacts that you're meeting, okay? So I really hope to see you at Greenbuild Atlanta. It's going to be, again, November 18th all the way through November 22nd. Most people come in on the Tuesday, so November 19th, later in the afternoon, get into Atlanta, get settled. But Wednesday morning early, especially with a president giving the early opening keynote, you want to get there early, get your badges, maybe get your badges on a Tuesday afternoon. That way you can go straight in, get a seat, and get into the conference. Wednesday, Thursday, half a day Friday. So please do come to Greenbuild Atlanta. And if you have any questions, want any tips, or you definitely want to come to the podcast meetup, reach out to me on LinkedIn. And I hope everyone has an awesome week. I'll see you in a couple months in Atlanta.
I just want to say thank you to our loyal listeners. We actually are celebrating over 1 year here on the Green Building Matters podcast. Me and the entire team were stoked and just so glad you continue to listen every Wednesday morning to a new interview with a green building professional here in this industry, or just some pro tips that we want to make sure that you are getting straight from us, straight to you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Green Building Matters podcast. At gbes.com, our mission is to advance the green building movement through best-in-class education and encouragement. Remember, you can go to gbes.com/podcast for any notes and links that we mentioned in today's episode. And you can actually see the other episodes that have already been recorded with our amazing guests. Please tell your friends about this podcast. Tell your colleagues. And if you really enjoyed it, leave a positive review on iTunes. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on next week's episode.